Hello traders, welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 229. Iliya here. You know what we're going to be doing, having a look at the market, how it developed this week, what kind of opportunities we had, and most importantly, what we can expect for the upcoming week. Now, this week was quite 50-50. We had that CPI being released on Tuesday and it offered a very nice move. Then Wednesday consolidated and then Thursday kind of showed a little bit of a sign of a reversal. So we're not going to have a very clear bias starting from the weekend, but I truly believe that coming into the next week, the incoming week, we are going to start having the clear direction because we also have a lot of news which we're going to explore. So without further ado, let's actually start with our news overview. All right, let's start with a quick news overview. Now, there are a couple of things that we have to note for next week. First of all is that we have a bank holiday on Monday. So we have a US bank holiday on Monday. We also have Canadian bank holiday on Monday. Now, what I have spotted in the past is that even though we have a bank holiday, the market still tends to move. So maybe we could have a move during London session. So again, keep that in mind, but preferably I would avoid Monday. Let it do its thing, and then I'm going to be observing it, the market on Tuesday. However, we don't have any USD news, we don't have any Euro, we don't have any GBP news. We have Aussie news, monetary policy meeting minutes, very important for the Aussie. So again, we got to watch out the Aussie because we have Aussie news here, Aussie news there, and not sure if we have one on Thursday. Yeah, so the Aussie, the beginning of the week, Tuesday and Wednesday could be very nice. But pretty much the highlight of this week is FOMC minutes, which happens very late at pretty much at night for me on Wednesday. So pretty much again, Monday and Tuesday are going to be tricky for the US dollar, and also Wednesday, because if that news comes all the way towards the end of the day, then pretty much what I think is going to happen is we're going to have to trade the Euro, the pounds, and the USD on Thursday. Because we can see on Thursday, we have exactly what we want: Euro news, GBP news, and USD news. Right? Which is pretty much going to make it perfectly to trade the pairs we most like. So Euro USD, GBP USD, Aussie USD as well, NZD USD also, we have some NZD news. So this is how I think we're going to go this week. Monday and Tuesday, slightly just being a little bit careful, waiting for the right time to strike. Then even on Wednesday, I think it's going to be waiting time. And then the focus for me personally, I'm definitely going to be on the charts, fully focused, no distractions on Thursday. And then potentially if Thursday actually drives the market towards the liquidity points, then Friday could be a little bit tricky. But if, again, Thursday makes a very nice push and we have a very clear target, then Friday could also be a very nice trading day, even though we don't have any USD news. So again, guys, highlight for this week, Wednesday FOMC minutes. Be careful. The first 3 days, we could definitely try to trade pairs like USD CAD, Aussie CAD, for example, in this case, some crosses, just basing it on the news. But personally, I am mainly focused on the majors, the USD pairs. So I'm going to be very careful at the beginning and then, of course, focusing after Wednesday. So with the news out of the way, let's get into the market. Now, again, still same things. We're having that DXY first. We're having that monthly imbalance that the market is currently tapping into. And we're so far rejecting it. Like you can see, what matters to me is that we're not massively pushing above it, right? We're actually leaving a wick. So right now, again, it's all about time. The market waits for something. And again, we had this week the CPI, we had the NFP first, and right now we're going to be having the FOMC this Wednesday, which is when I truly think the market should pick a direction. Because so far it has been 2 weeks, we don't have direction. So first week we came in rejected, right? Cool. Second week right now, we came even deeper and still rejected, right? And this actually came in from that weekly demand, that weekly imbalance that we marked up on the previous weekly outlook. And then I told you that we're currently in a supply and demand sandwich, because it's quite a funny concept, because we're having a monthly imbalance here and then we're having a weekly imbalance right there. So the market is kind of stuck. All right, so I'm responding from the monthly, but do I hold from the weekly? Well, in this case, it did hold. It took out that high on CPI, very good, right? But then, of course, what do we want to see if it's going to go higher? We want to see for the market to just continue expanding. And what I really did like for Thursday is that we had this daily imbalance printing in right here. But then on Thursday, we just massively kind of crashed below it. doesn't look like it wants to respect and to pop higher. What I don't like though is that Friday could have created a daily imbalance lower, but it did not. It did not make it on the DXY, on GU, on EU, which sucks. So right now, currently, again, I'm going to say that it's not clear yet. And I hate it. I hate to say it, but again, it's not clear yet. What I truly want to see for the dollar right now is push lower, make some imbalances, make some structure, give me clear bearishness. Or I don't care, push higher, give me clear bullish structure, something to trade. Because right now, it is just very indecisive. It is very 50-50. And all we're going to be doing right here is gambling a little bit. Now, of course, I could go to read the volatility time frame, but you can see the volatility time frame is also not ideal. All the liquidity is actually taken. So first, we massively popped into the highs, and actually we shifted in terms of structure. Here we had a volatility breakup, then we had a volatility trend change. So we actually shifted bearish, and you can see within that bearish structure, we had this imbalance that the market tapped into on Friday very massively, and then it ended up taking out that volatility low, making another breakout structure. So right now, this imbalance is filled, this low is taken, so the market has rebalanced, it has also taken liquidity. So right now, there is nothing it could do. And with Monday being a bank holiday, I am definitely going to wait all the way until Wednesday, especially for the dollar and for the dollar pairs. So right now, guys, I have no bias. There is nothing to base a trade on. Nothing on the daily, nothing on the volatility time frame. So again, I'm gonna tell you guys, which has been the case for pretty much, not for the beginning of this week, but for a lot of the outlooks, I'm always telling you to just wait. But this is because, again, the DXY has been tricky since the beginning of the year. It's chopping a lot, coming in again, chopping a lot, coming in again, right? So again, we have to wait for that clear trend to be created before we start striking. So that is the DXY. Unclear. We have to wait for Wednesday, which is potentially going to screw our analysis for the rest of the pairs. Euro USD, pretty much the reverse of the DXY. We're having a bullish push. We're having a pullback into that monthly imbalance. We're so far rejecting it very nicely. And it's starting to offer some bullish signs, but yet again, it is not ready. So if you remember last week, we again, similar to the DXY, we had that same thing on Euro. We had that same thing on the GU as well. We had that weekly imbalance coming lower into that monthly imbalance, and we actually tapped it and respected it. So again, respected it in the form of taking out the weekly low and pushing lower and not breaking above it. Now, I really do like this weekly candle. It's a very nice pin bar. It's a very nice rejection. And what I would usually imagine if I look at candlesticks and what I learned back in the days, this is a very big wick pin bar, so it should be a rejection. So then, of course, we can expect like a 50% wick fill, and then to potentially start rejecting. So that is what I can conclude from the weekly time frame, but nothing very much. And then we drop to the daily time frame. I would have absolutely loved for the market to make a daily imbalance right here, because we had this very nice candle on Thursday that absolutely disrespected this daily imbalance coming in on the way lower. So we had a daily breakout structure. So there is the weekly imbalance tapping on Monday, and then Tuesday CPI. Lovely follow through. Now, did we get a setup? I don't think so. I went skiing this week, so I didn't take any trades at all, which I'm very happy with because the market was not clear. And if you look at the intraday time frames, not a lot of setups developed all the way until Friday. So I'm going to show you a trade that I really wanted to take on Friday, but kind of didn't want to screw my performance just on Friday. So on Thursday, we had a very massive push above that imbalance, which again immediately tells me, all right, we could potentially start heading higher towards this high, because it doesn't look like this range wants to get respected. So I truly wanted to see also this imbalance to form. But again, Friday came in very deep. We had PPI on Friday. But what I truly liked also from the volatility time frame is that we had, again, there is the CPI move. So why you cannot trade this is because first it gives this very big wick, and then it just massively flushes. So again, don't try to catch this. But now here we came in, we broke structure, then we made a trend change with imbalance. Very good. There is a trading opportunity here. Then from this one, we confirmed the order flow bullish by creating another breakout structure and another volatility bullish imbalance. So in London session on Friday, I was looking for longs, but London session was absolutely choppy. But then PPI came in during US and made this massive drop that kind of tapped into that daily imbalance area. And at that time, I was like, nah, it doesn't look good, and that is exactly when the setup was provided. So it was pretty much here on the 50-minute as well. It had an hourly zone to be traded into. So there is the hourly zone to be traded into right there, perfectly targeting that previous daily high. And also all the way down there, there was an entry on the 5-minute and there is an entry on the 1-minute. So that is a trade that I truly regret not taking because I was there, but I just observed it, decided not to strike because I haven't really been focused for the week. And I can't just really come in on Friday and take a trade out of nowhere. Just this is how I felt, so I didn't take it. Now, again, in terms of what happens now, we don't have anything similar to the DXY. The liquidity has been taken. The market has been rebalanced. So again, what should we do right now? We should wait. We should wait for something to happen. Either impulse higher, give us longs, impulse lower, give us shorts, or of course consolidate until FOMC. So Euro USD, similar to the DXY, no clear bias. But I am more long biased than shorts. I just want to see, for example, the market to start popping above, closing above this level, closing above this weekly imbalance, and then potentially I can trade with more confidence. But until the FOMC on Wednesday, I will most likely stay aside. GU is the only pair that hasn't yet tapped that monthly imbalance. So of course that could mean a couple of things. It could mean that the GBP is overall strong and it doesn't want to flush lower towards that zone. So when everything else aligns, so when the DXY potentially goes bearish and when EU starts pumping, GU is going to be stronger. Because we see, for example, EU, it came all the way down to that monthly imbalance. It's looking a little bit bearish. GU is very consolidative, but this is a good thing because it shows us that the pound is overall strong. Now, weekly time frame, we also did have that weekly imbalance that the market responded to, but another clue that the pound is overall strong is that it did not take the weekly low. So you saw Euro USD take it, the DXY took it, but GU did not. It reacted from that weekly imbalance, tried to push lower, but failed, and it closed as an indecision. So again, that is definitely something to observe. But then we drop to the daily time frame, and this is where it gets just, it's not nice. I mean, EU is looking a little bit cleaner in terms of the daily. This one, absolutely not. We had that imbalance down there, quite a couple of days of a chop. CPI came in, printed bearish, no imbalances again. No, I just don't like it on the daily. And what I usually don't like it on the daily, I give it one last chance on the forward time frame, but even here, the forward time frame was kind of similar to EU. So again, we had that short here that was pretty good. So that is another short on Wednesday here because we had, I think we had CPI for the pound. Massively dropped lower. Good. Order flow does look like it's confirmed. Then we have this lower low with imbalance, suggesting that the structure is also strong. But we tap in. We fail to push lower. Then the market breaks above that imbalance with a bullish one here. And yeah, we came in. We came in even deeper on Friday. So there was also a long on GU, right? But I very much like the one on EU. So right now, what is happening? The market has rebalanced. It has also taken liquidity. So what we should wait, we should wait, right? I'm personally waiting for, you could go to the hourly time frame and try to chase price towards the upside. But personally, I am just waiting for clear hourly pushes, clear hourly trend with clear hourly imbalances, or even the daily. Because if you don't have the daily, you can force it to the 4H, right? But then if you start even dropping lower and like going to the 50-minute time frame and saying, all right, Asian low broken, I'm going to go long. No, without the hard time frames aligned, without a clear hard time frame picture, I have found that you're just trading like with a blindfold on. So again, no areas for me that are interesting, no clear bias for me that is like, wow, this is clear, this is nice, I'm going to trade this. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. Again, potentially all the way into Wednesday, and then Thursday is going to be the focus. So very likely I could update you on Wednesday, but I might also do it on Thursday this week. So again, stay tuned for that. Let's have a look at the Aussie. Now, again, this one is also within the monthly imbalance. It's so far very nicely rejecting. We still have 12 days for the monthly candle to close, which also makes me think that March could actually be the candle that maybe respects that imbalance and starts expanding on all the pairs. Weekly time frame, we had that same thing here. We had a weekly imbalance coming into a monthly imbalance, and again, it got respected by taking out that weekly low. However, did it continue to push lower? No. That is a very good sign. So then, of course, going down to explore it on the daily time frame. Here we had a very nice, again, similar to the rest of the pairs, we had a very nice daily imbalance coming in from that weekly imbalance that truly suggests very nice bearish order flow. However, then massively engulfing it, which is not good. And then of course you can see Friday also showing us bullishness. And Aussie dollar is actually, unlike for example EU and GU, Aussie dollar did take out that daily high, which to me is either a structure break. Potentially I could classify this as a structure break, but it's also definitely a sign that Aussie is stronger. And what we have right here is a very, very, very tiny little bit of a daily imbalance. And it's very tiny, but still it is valid. And that shows me that there was bullish momentum overall entering into this market. So the Aussie, we have news on Tuesday and we also have news on Wednesday. So for next week, I could definitely add Aussie dollar to my list, right? But now again, in terms of how do we trade it, in terms of the quality time frame, we just took out that liquidity, so that weekly imbalance is no longer relevant, but we just took out that liquidity area here, so the market is very likely going to reject. We do have a very tiny little bit of an imbalance area here, so I would like to see either two things. So I don't expect for the market to pull back all the way down to the daily, down there. So what I would like to see is maybe even the hourly time frame or the forward time frame to very nicely expand higher with a very nice structure break, with a very nice imbalance, and then to potentially continue following it higher. And now for targets, I mean, it's hard to say where the market is going to go. Like it could start, of course, popping all these highs because we collected these highs right here. So of course, the next one is all the way up there. And until then, we don't have much to respond from because we have this very nice push with very big imbalance. So of course, this overall area here was pulling into that imbalance, so I don't think there is a lot of resistance within this area. So again, if I get bullish signs in the form of either hourly pushes higher or hourly pushes higher or even daily very nice candle pushing higher, then I would definitely try to chase Aussie dollar towards the highs. So this one looks pretty good. It's the not sure if it's the only pair that has a daily imbalance, but just this daily imbalance being created suggests that there is bullishness into this market. So also we have news on Tuesday and Wednesday, so definitely Aussie dollar will be something that I will pay attention to at the beginning of the week. Let's see if NZD dollar is also looking good. Now again, we do have this monthly imbalance right here that the market looks like it's respecting, and we're already turning bullish. So I can already expect this candle to start turning bullish. Why? Well, because the previous month already tapped into the imbalance. So then what we did is we took out the previous monthly low, and right now we're respecting this and rejecting away from it. That is very good. Now, again, what I want to see is for the market to potentially push higher. But again, this week, it didn't really commit. Next week, we have NZD news all the way on Thursday, very, very, very late. So trading the NZD USD, not a very great idea, but definitely could be something we can explore. Now, of course, first target is going to be that previous weekly high and then this high. Why? Well, because here we had that weekly imbalance coming in. The market tapped in, rejected, fails to push lower, so this imbalance is no longer relevant. So potentially this high is weak, and I can even say we can start targeting these highs up there. But first we need to see that conviction, which we don't have yet. Again, what is this market doing? It's consolidating. What I want to see is pushes higher. I just want to see clear trend. I am so much FOMO right now for a clear trend that is just clear and I can fully capitalize on it without a second doubt. Right now, the market moves down, moves up, moves down, moves up. And that is pretty much because of the DXY. The dollar is not clear yet, which makes all the USD pairs just choppy. Now, here on the daily, we don't have anything to work with. We had a daily imbalance here that it looks like is disrespected. So again, first target becomes that high here as liquidity. So then we drop to the forward time frame, and that is looking good. Now, here we had the imbalance here. Then we have imbalance there. Again, that suggests the market is overall turning bullish. What I really do like is that this forward imbalance never got broken. You can see all the bodies closing inside and the wicks just being thrown down there. Then we had a very nice here break of structure with a body, right? And then we have this forward imbalance. So in fact, this one is looking pretty good for just a simple tap in and a continuation going higher. Now, is it going to happen on Monday during the bank holiday? Is going to happen on Tuesday without the NZD news? Could potentially the Aussie news influence also the NZD? Those are questions you just have to answer yourself. But the NZD USD and the Aussie USD look like the best pairs to be traded at the beginning of the week until that FOMC comes out. But again, those are still USD pairs. However, I have found that New Zealand and Australian dollar are not very much linked to the DXY. like EU and GU are. So if like EU and GU are unclear, your next resort is potentially NU and AU, which both look good. So this is something that I'm going to be focusing on. And in fact, NZUSD looks very good. So let's see how they play out. All right, let's have a look at GOAT to see if it's offering some more clues about what it wants to do. Previous monthly low is taken. We're rejecting from it, but nothing apart from that. Weekly candle was very nicely bearish, but again, very nice rejection because we took out that previous monthly low. No weekly imbalance is going to be created because we massively rejected down there. So probably there was something to the left. Then dropping onto the daily time frame, again, that CPI candle massively pushed lower. And then we started reversing on all the pairs. So was that manipulation? Was that manipulation? Well, I could potentially presume so, because if it was not, the market should have continued already. There is our daily imbalance on gold. Very nice tap in Thursday. Well, we should have expected Friday to go down. No, it respected for a little bit. And right now it's pushing higher, which immediately makes me think that, okay, that could be a target. First, I want to see the 40 time frame to start showing me that it wants to trend higher though, and we can already see it. Now, in terms of structure, I don't think so. Yeah, in terms of structure, we're still trading between this high to this low based on my 40 time frame lows. But this is when imbalances kick in, because the imbalances are going to show you the current order flow, right? And if structure is bearish, of course, that is a negative kind of sign for potential longs. But if, for example, the imbalances are pointing higher, that could mean the market is pushing up. So again, we had that imbalance here. The market tapped in, respected it. We had, there are pretty much those two. And we have this very nice sell-off on Friday, followed by this very nice buy, closing very nicely above the structure, right? And right now we have this hourly imbalance as well. So that looks like a very similar setup to NU and AU. So this is definitely something you can explore. But again, keep in mind, gold, it's a USD pair. So wait for that FOMC. But if you're looking to trade something on Tuesday or even on Monday, but again, Monday is bank holiday, gold could be a good idea. Tap inside this hourly zone. Just look for a very quick move. Don't go over here. Just very quick move. 1 to 2, 1 to 3, close it, call it a day, right? That is gold. Looks pretty good. I am confident actually on longs, just based on the fact that we're rejecting the previous monthly low. The weekly time frame is showing a very big rejection as well. The daily time frame is disrespecting that daily imbalance, and the 40 time frame is having a shift in order flow. So a lot of signs for potential bullishness. Let's see how it's gonna play out. Let's have a quick glance at the JPYs. So USD JPY still pushing higher on the monthly time frame, of course targeting that monthly high. Dropping to the weekly time frame, we're having very nice bullish order flow here. So coming in from that weekly imbalance, perfectly rejected, taking out the high, closing above it. And right now this week, we're having another weekly imbalance. So that again, this is the market that I want to see, but I'm still kind of getting used to trading JPYs, right? But especially USD JPY, this has been a pair that I pay more attention to. It is great. It is great, sometimes not, but a lot of times it just provides very clear setups. Here we have that daily zone tapped in, very nicely expanded. And here pretty much this week, what we forecasted is that daily imbalance to tap in and to give us a move higher. There it is. Happened on CPI, which is again making it a little bit shitty because we couldn't really trade this. And right now we're having another daily imbalance going higher. Now again, this is a USD pair, which means that it's linked to the DXY. The DXY is in that monthly zone, so it's kind of trying to reject, but it's not sure yet. But overall, UJ is just bullish. It's just bullish. Now we have this weekly imbalance below that is only going to get retested if that daily zone fails. So far, this daily zone doesn't look like it's failing. We had a very nice bearish candle into it, but then Friday is bullish. It failed to push higher, but again, it's still 50-50 right now. So we have to refer to a lower time frame. But unfortunately, then on the 40 time frame, it is just choppy. There was an imbalance going lower. There is no imbalance going higher. Structure is very tricky because we're trading between this low all the way to the high. So there is the last, here we had some choppiness right there, but there is the last structure break from this low to this high. It's bullish, which is another good potential sign that we are going to be bullish, but there is nothing to work with. Monday being a bank holiday for the US, Friday being a bank holiday for the JPY, I truly hope we're going to see something clear. But as of right now, I am not going to go to the hourly and try to force something. I am going to wait for something clear, at least on the hourly time frame. be it an imbalance going higher, breaking the structure, be it an imbalance going lower, potentially showing me that this daily zone is not going to hold. So then I can potentially start targeting this low and then all the way to the weekly imbalance. I want to see something. We don't have it yet. So guess what, guys? We wait. Now, Euro JPY, beautiful development this week. If you actually have a look at the previous weekly outlook, I do think this is the pair that played out perfectly. Previous monthly high is taken. We're actually having a clear bullish candle right there in the monthly. Weekly time frame, it didn't have a weekly imbalance. This one, GJ had it, but overall we're following through, taking out that weekly high as well, which is the same as the monthly high. So let's mark it with green. Then we drop to the daily time frame, and yeah, pretty much there it is. We had that imbalance here that formed on pretty much last week, Friday, Monday comes in, and then we continue going higher. But then you have those 2 days of chop, and then Fridays too moved higher. Again, like what I dislike about the JPYs is that they're consolidating a lot. They very rarely move tap and go. They consolidate a lot, which is again why I don't want to trade EJ and GJ, but I would gonna definitely focus on UJ. Because again, then you see, all right, cool. Here from that Monday tap, we had a very nice forward imbalance. But then the market comes in, taps, reacts, chops, then it comes in again, and then it makes the move. So if I took a trade here, I would have gone out break even. Very, very likely. Then it pushes higher. You try to continue following it, but then the market just chops the hell out. Right? Pulls back, tries to push, fails, then this low becomes weak. It took out this low, and then potentially then it starts moving. It is very slow. It is very slow. Now, when it comes to right now, we don't have much on the daily yet. So what I want to see is Monday to not cross below this line, because if it crosses below this line, there is not going to be a daily imbalance. So what I want to see is a candle to print on Monday to form a daily imbalance, and then potentially on Tuesday and the rest of the week, I am going to try to take this one long, right? But first, I need to see that daily imbalance to form here. So again, this is all I'm going to say, because on the 40 time frame, we don't have anything. It's just pushing higher, but do you see an imbalance? I don't. The only one that I see is all the way down there, which I don't expect for it to tap because it doesn't make any sense for it to tap. And if it comes all the way down, it's very likely going to print bearish imbalances. So again, waiting for 1 day on EJ to form that daily imbalance, and then we can work with that on Tuesday and Wednesday. So it looks pretty good. Let's see. Well, GJ is also very nicely pushing higher, currently trading above the previous monthly highs. And of course, if we just scroll back to the left, I mean, this is a high right there, 2015 high, but I'm not going to use a 2015 high for targets. So let's just focus on what is happening right now. Monthly, bullish, weekly, very nice order flow. So we have that weekly imbalance here tapping in. Then we had a whole week of kind of bullish, but consolidative a little bit. And it was this week that we actually pushed higher and took out that high. Now, in order for that beautiful weekly order flow to continue, we have to make a weekly imbalance, and pretty much we're very close to closing that imbalance. So again, if the market actually continues to push higher from here, it's going to have another weekly imbalance that we can trade from next week. So what I essentially want to see from GJ is to not open and cross below this line, because that is going to prevent a weekly imbalance from forming. That is going to potentially give us a sign that doesn't really want to push higher. Daily time frame, exactly the same as EJ. We had that daily imbalance all the way, from the weekend. So we forecasted that, taps in, very nice push on CPI. It did form a very, very, very tiny little bit of a daily imbalance that is currently rejecting from, and Friday's candle is already showing us that it potentially wants to push higher. So again, what I require from this pair is for it to just start pushing higher. No pullbacks, just push higher. And for that, we're potentially going to need something on the 40 time frame, which we don't really have right now. It's not nice. It went very much down. Then it had this very nice bullish imbalance going higher. Structure has also shifted, or has it? No, I don't think so. It's still bullish to the left. Oh, yeah. Valid range here. Broke down. TC up. Beautiful. So structure has shifted bullish. All right. I essentially want to see for it to just immediately start popping higher, making fall imbalances higher, and then potentially targeting that high. That is my thought process on GJ. It's going to be very hard for this one to form a daily imbalance, because you can see it's like very close to that previous candle, while EJ is not. EJ has a very big chance of doing so. What I truly want to see on GJ is another weekly imbalance to form, so we should not cross below this line after market open. So let's see how it goes. Essentially, my analysis is pretty much waiting for something on the quality time frame, preferably bullishness. So if I actually see a very nice big fat bullish candle, then I can even drop to the lower time frames and try to chase this. Because when you see that momentum and when you see imbalances forming, you can already trade those before they happen, right? So that is GJ. Let's see how it goes. Overall bullish bias, of course, if proven wrong and we start pushing to the downside. I really don't care what happens. I just want something clear. Let's have a look at the indices, starting from SPX. Now again, on the monthly time frame, we're just pushing higher. We're going to have another monthly imbalance, which again suggests quite a strong market. Now this week we had a weekly imbalance that the market failed to quite come into, but what we already see is we're having a very nice rejection. And in fact, I saw, I think, one setup. It was again on Friday, and then there was another setup that happened a little bit late during the night. On the daily time frame, we had two imbalances. So on Monday, the market formed this daily imbalance, but we had this one below it as well. And then pretty much on the CPI, the market printed this massive bearish candle. At that time, it did look like, does it really want to hold? Does it not? But then, of course, we started seeing on the next day, we printed a very nice bullish candle that also printed that bearish imbalance. So this is again when it becomes a little bit 50-50, right? Quality time frame at that time started looking bullish, but daily is bearish. But then we printed this very nice bullish candle that invalidates this this daily zone. But then Friday screwed us again. Prints a very nice bearish candle. So again, there is no daily imbalances right now to work with, which is not ideal. This is not ideal. And then, of course, if we drop to the quality time frame, you can see that Friday's price action was not good at all here. But overall, as we made this very nice push lower, there was a setup right here, but it developed very late, right? And then I do believe we had a setup right here on Thursday, right there. And then I think there was one more somewhere, but I'm not really sure where. So right now, I just hate how this Friday closed. Like, look at these candles. Down, up, down, daily time frame, massive bearish candle, not leaving any imbalance, didn't really head for that high. So what is happening? I don't know. And you know what I'm gonna say? Wait. Wait, because everything is retested, everything is balanced. Liquidity, I mean, this high was very clear liquidity, but we didn't take it. So what does that mean? Is it respecting this high? So then does that mean we're gonna go all the way down to the low? We're gonna see this week. FOMC minutes, very important for the stock market as well. So let's wait for that. Person again waiting for something clear on the FOH before I look at this index. Nasdaq, kind of similar. What it feels like, just kind of trying to feel the market, it feels like that we could potentially start making a little bit of a pullback. Now this will depend on the DXY, right? This will depend on the DXY as well, but you can see on the weekly time frame, this one failed to make a new weekly imbalance. We had this very nice expansion candle last week. This week could have pushed higher, but no, it rejected and it closed this weekly imbalance. So this one is already balanced by this candle. So that means that we could potentially be seeking liquidity below this weekly low. So that is something that I could conclude right now. Then on the daily time frame, we had, again, that same respect. So we don't have a higher high, but we have a lower high. Potentially, then what I can say is that this low is weak because this low failed to cause a break of the high, so it becomes weak. So what I start seeing again is that kind of shift of order flow, and there is nothing on the daily here. We had a very nice candle here that could potentially form a daily imbalance if we do not cross above this line on Monday. So I'm just gonna mark this one out just to make sure to follow up. So yeah, what I essentially want to see is something clear on the daily and on the FOH as well. Very nice push down to potentially trade it long and to see if we're actually going to establish order flow lower to then go all the way down to this weekly low. The quality time frame here, look at that. So this one, oh, this one looks good. So we had nothing developing on the way up, and then we just all of a sudden, whoop, massive bearishness. Imbalance created, tap and go, taking out the quality low. So what I again want to see right now is another quality imbalance to get created to confirm that bearish order flow and then to take it all the way down to this low. Now again here, probably developed late. Yeah, no, I don't want to trade this. Very, very, very late, but glad to see that it actually followed through. So once again, either hourly time frame structure or preferably hourly time frame structure and imbalances, something that I want to see in order to keep taking the market lower. I do see a lot of signs for potential bearishness, but again, let's see. Wednesday is going to be very key for the indices. Now, DAX is absolutely choppy. Since I started looking at it, it got very choppy. Weekly time frame, nothing much. So it's been chopping here, had a push up, 2 weeks of chop. This week, it's kind of doing some funky stuff, taking out previous weekly low, previous weekly high, and doing nothing. Daily time frame, it so I really see this one as a manipulation, like a very big range, massive pop higher, and it's creating right now this daily imbalance. So we should give it time. Once again, we should see if this daily imbalance is going to hold, because as I see, the overall indices are kind of starting to point a little bit lower, failing to take out a high, failing to push higher, starting to show a little bit of a weakness. So I do think DAX could also follow up. So again, we're either going to tap in, reject, maybe quick long trade, quick TP, and then disrespect it, or of course we're just going to tap and continue going higher. So this daily imbalance is going to be a very key area to watch for the first 1 or 2 days of the week. Nothing on the FOMC to have a look at right now. So again, let's see how it taps into this one. Wait for 2 daily candles to print. I mean, Monday could come in, reject, but then if Tuesday shows us signs that it wants to follow through, good, we can target the high. But if the market kind of closes below this one, right, and then even Tuesday prints a daily imbalance, oh, that is going to be a very clear target towards that low. So again, those are my 2 scenarios. We just have to wait, and we just have to allow price to show us what it wants to do. But overall, choppy index, so don't want to touch it, at least for 2 days. A quick look at US30, similar to the rest of the indices. Again, it's forming a monthly imbalance, which is something that we're going to be very key, something that we're going to play with next month. Weekly time frame, it didn't have an imbalance on the weekly, and 2 weeks of a consolidation, so not ideal, nothing clear. Daily time frame, again, on the CPI, like, just look at this, not good. Very choppy, very not nice. We had that CPI candle, created that daily bearish imbalance, massive pop higher, and then Friday it's rejecting. It kind of has also bullish imbalance. No, I mean, US30 has been an index that I just don't resonate with at all. Not clear. So again, let's see how this daily imbalance is going to respond from. But I'm not sure. I would much prefer SPX and Nasdaq. They do look a little bit cleaner, and in fact, the only index that I would prefer right now is Nasdaq, because that is showing me the cleanest signs for potential bearishness. Of course, if US30 also closes below this daily imbalance and starts printing the bearish ones, we could then definitely say that it could be going for that low, but of course we need time. So let's give it. All right, fanatics, let's wrap it up. Wednesday, FOMC meeting minutes. Thursday, massive news. I do believe the overall DXY will be waiting for that Wednesday in order to then massively trade on Thursday. So being patient on Monday and Tuesday is going to be very key. Now again, the DXY is still in all those sandwiches. Weekly bullish, daily bullish, monthly bearish. What is it going to do? I truly hope this week we're going to get a sign. Nothing on the DXY, nothing on EU, and nothing on GU. Absolutely no signs. AU and NU have a lot of bullish signs, and in fact, they both have a potential long setup incoming. NZUSD looks quite good. What I do like about those two is that they're not that very heavily linked to the DXY, so they might actually make a move. I would much prefer to trade Aussie dollar because we have Aussie dollar news on Wednesday and Tuesday. So that is on my watch list. Gold also starting to show a little bit of a bullish sign. So let's see how that one goes. JPYs, they are, especially UJ, that is a absolutely USD pair. So we have to wait for the FOMC. EJ and GJ, they need to have like at least 2 days of price action to show me what it wants to do, to show me where it wants to go. GJ is responding from a daily imbalance to potentially go higher, but I want to see the forward time frame to also commit higher. EJ, I'm going to wait for a daily candle to close in order to have a daily imbalance, and then I'm going to trade from it, right? Indices are starting to show a little bit of a bearish sign. SPX looks a little bit stronger, so I'm going to give this one 1 or 2 days. But Nasdaq is already printing a very nice daily bearish candle and also has an already respected forward imbalance with a structure break, trend change. So this one could definitely potentially go lower. I'm going to be looking for forward signs. German 40 needs 1 or 2 days to develop. US 30 is very choppy. So pretty much nothing that I'm very excited for. Next week, it's going to be all about the flow. So again, flow in the markets. Monday, bank holiday, wait. Tuesday, observe. Wednesday, wait. FOMC. And then Thursday and Friday are going to be our days to shine. So protect your energy, protect your capital, protect your focus, and wait for the right time to strike. That's my tip for you. So with that being said, I wish you a lovely weekend and I wish you a crushing week ahead of you. Let me know how you perform this week, and I'm going to talk to you on Wednesday or Thursday.